Good morning, everybody. Meteorologist Jeremy Baker here on Thursday. Some call it Friday Junior, whatever day it is to you. Happy Thursday, almost to the weekend. It's a hot day out there. Of course, it is the end of August, so naturally it's going to be like that. We've lucked out a lot this month. We haven't had many triple-digit days. Today could be one of those, though, unfortunately, but we're pretty used to that heat by now. For the summer, of course, I'm following along on Facebook, so make sure you have any questions, feel free to ask or tell me a joke or whatever you have to say. All right, looking around town, you see a lot of blue sky, a lot of sunshine out there right now with dry air up above for the most part. A little sticky out there, but plenty of blue at Morgan's Wonderland Camp, Calaveras Lake, the airport, Skycam, looking good. And good morning to you, Anastasia. I like your last name. We need some more of your last name, some rain. Hope you're having a good morning. I'm in for Paul Morales for Ken's 5 News at noon, so if you tune in then, I'll be there. All right, let's head to the tropics first. You know, the peak of hurricane season is early September, so we're close to that. Still haven't had much of anything going, at least in the Gulf, and not much in the Atlantic right now. We do have Fernand, which is just a remnant area of low pressure. It's well off in the North Atlantic. That's moving away from us and towards now actually Europe. But further down to the south, there's a wave that just came off of Africa. The Hurricane Center giving that area, you see that yellow there, that is a low chance of developing the next tropical cyclone, the next named storm. But notice that track, it's already taking it to the north. So right now, of course that could change, but right now it's not looking like, if it does form, that it would impact us, but it's still well out there. And of course things could change. Sure thing, Anastasia. All right, back here, there's all that blue sky. Look at the airport, a lot of brown on the grass there. I assume that's green if we have a lot of rainfall. Of course, we're in the middle of the drought still. San Antonio Airport at 88 degrees as of the 11 o'clock hour. Stinson sitting at 89. South winds are 8 miles per hour, so a little breeze to cool us off a bit here and there. Humidity is at 53% and the dew point at 69 degrees. So with that dew point well up there in the upper 60s, it does feel humid out there. Heat indices already well into the 90s. We could see close to 105 for the heat index today. Across the area, we've got mostly 80s and low 90s, 90 for Beeville and George West, 88 Eagle Pass, Del Rio at 86, Rock Springs, the cool spot, 82, 88 in Junction, 84 Bernie, New Braunfels, Seguin, San Marcos, all in the low 90s, Austin also low 90s at 91, Port Lavaca, the hot spot, at 93, and more humid toward the coast, of course. Here's the radar. You see this false radar echoes. No rainfall, and of course we have blue skies. Without clouds, you're not going to get any rainfall. Unless you have a watering hose or something like that. Here's that humidity forecast. So we're in the upper 60s right now. This model saying we'll go down to the 50s tomorrow morning, but bounce right back up there for the weekend. So for the most part, we're going to stay humid. It might be a little bit lower tonight and tomorrow. And really, that's about it. That'll lead to a nice night tonight, mostly clear skies, but then rain chances start to move back in as the humidity becomes more precipitable moisture. And here's that drought report. We still need a lot of rain. Nothing like what you saw at the beginning of that, though. We do still have a small area of exceptional drought conditions just to the south and east of Hondo. Bexar County still mostly in extreme drought conditions, or if not that, severe. And another area towards Del Rio with extreme drought conditions. So we're chipping it away at it, but it's going to start growing again. But hopefully this weekend we do get some rain that we definitely need across the area. Water vapor imagery showing you where all the moisture is, all the water vapor, where the atmosphere has all that juice. And you can see a lot of it toward the coast in extreme southern South Texas. That's where you had the blow up of bright white clouds and the blues. That's where it shows the highest level of moisture. And where you get browns or oranges, that's where the driest areas. We're not seeing a whole lot of that right now, but not a lot of moisture either. So we're kind of in between the two, but there's enough humidity around to make it feel very oppressive during the afternoon. Here's the future cast, walking you through it hour by hour. This is the HRRR model. Notice the time in the corner says today at 5 p.m. Mostly cloud-free, so we'll call it mostly sunny. Temperatures around 100 for San Antonio for a daytime high. Lower 100s in our southern counties. Hill country well into the 90s today, so everyone is hot today. About 5 to 6 degrees above normal for this time of year. Heading into tonight, we'll stop the clock at 7 a.m., so morning drive time tomorrow as the kids head out to school. Mostly clear skies to start out the morning tomorrow. Temperatures pretty seasonable for this time of year, low to mid 70s for these overnight lows tonight. And then as we head to the rest of your Friday into the afternoon, once again, it's going to be a mostly sunny day, highs in about the same spot, upper 90s to the lower 100s. This model showing slightly cooler temperatures in the hill country. We'll see if that cooler actually makes it in. I'm thinking most of us will be a little bit warmer as a front to the north drops on down. It's likely going to hang out just to our north, so we'll still be on the south side of that front through the weekend, but it will be close enough to give us good chances of rain. And with that increased rain chance and more clouds, it'll bring down the high temperatures. So we're not really going to feel the impacts of a cold front per se coming through, but the impacts of it hanging around nearby. And here we go into Saturday morning, still mostly clear, but you can see the clouds increasing from the north. That's that front getting a little bit closer to us, bringing in more clouds as we head into your weekend. So for today, started out mostly clear. We have the sunshine right now, highs in the low 90s by the noon hour, and a high today at 100. So another triple-digit day. We haven't had too many though, so no biggie, I say. For this evening, we'll drop into the mid-80s by the mid-evening, mostly clear skies. Warm temperatures, southeast winds at 5 to 15. Sunset getting earlier now that we get closer and closer to fall. That's coming in at 8 o'clock tomorrow, before 8 o'clock, in the 7 o'clock range. Nice. Personally, I like it darker. That's just me. All right, here's 14-day forecast. 100 today. We're going with 102 tomorrow, so hotter tomorrow. A very slight chance for a shower. I'm thinking the best chance in our northern counties. Then the weekend comes, 30% chance of rain Saturday, 40% chance on Sunday, and 30% on Labor Day. So if you do have any plans to barbecue this weekend, anything outside, just keep that KENS 5 app handy, KENS 5 Plus. Check out our forecast through the weekend and keep your eyes on the radar too. For now, the heat index, the bigger story in the lower to middle 100s. Once we get beyond Labor Day, things dry out once again. Tuesday, Wednesday, dry. Notice those highs though. They drop into the low 90s Sunday, Monday, Labor Day itself, Tuesday, and then back into the low to mid 90s for the rest of the forecast. Slight rain chances to round out September, or August rather, and bring in the first week of September. And there we go. And not too far after that 14-day, we're only a month away from fall. All right, that is your, no, actually, no, it's at the end of September. All right, that is your forecast. I'll have more about fall and summer today on KENS 5 News at noon. And Sarah Fragani will have your news. We hope to see you then. Bye-bye, everyone.